Hi, pardon my background. I'm in my garage today because everyone's home and there's just busyness everywhere. But I wanted to send you a video. This is what I do, have done since the pandemic, and give you a few ideas to work on, but then lets you and I just talk over email. And as you discover ideas or things like that, let me know how it goes and I can help you track down more stuff. So this is just a starting point. So, the first things first, we have to start out with like, well, what matters in the Falkland Islands? And there's lots and lots and lots of things going on. We have like South America versus European. So we have colonialism, we have post colonialism, we have governments, maybe government interference, yada, 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 yada. One of the things I'd encourage you to do is look at what matters to you. So, why did you choose this topic? And if you didn't choose this topic, if it chose you, what matters to you? So, if you look at, for example, South America today, what matters? And if you look at England today, what matters? For example, recently saw um, the King of England was coronated. They crowned the king, and I was just like, wow, that's really, in my own opinion, this doesn't have to be yours, but I was just like, that seems a little dated. And then the outfit that the king wore was definitely dated. He looked like a caricature of himself, and I'm like, "Eh, does that matter in this? It does. That's what makes a paper interesting. So how do we go about that? Well, we got to look through scholarly articles. So one thing that I wanted to start out with is Wikipedia just gives you kind of like a bare bones idea of what's going on. But we'll start out with Falklands and Malvinas. I don't think it's a Malvinas because then it would have the little squiggly over the N, right? But how do we find scholarly articles? You have the privilege, being a student in the state of Utah, you have access to something that I have a link to, but all students of Utah get access to this. So go to this URL and it will look like this. And there's my face again. This is not the only place to put it, but whenever I work with high school students, I'm just like, how do you get access to stuff? So you'll note there's this URL when you get to this page, onlinelibraryuen.org/login. Um, the login is online. Password is research. You're the only one that sees this video, so I'm not advertising this. My dogs are barking. Sorry. Online and research. One of the reasons that it's good to do this on a YouTube video is you can go back and forth. So if I go too fast, you can skip back. Sorry about the barking dogs. We do have a squirrels. So go to the high school, the red what box. Don't worry about the change of password. And then after you do that, go to EBSCO High Schools. These are all online resources that you can dig through. Once you're in EBSCO High Schools, look for one called Academic Search Premier. Is that a bowling alley? Oh no, it looks like a lecture hall. Why'd they do a bowling alley? That's a long way to get into databases. But this is, for high schools across Utah, this is the database that has been chosen. And it's a great general database. Oh, dogs. And what you could do, you could search up anything. Um, you could search up like bands, pop culture. You could look up post colonialism, the King of England. There's millions of different things in here, but we want scholarly stuff. So let's do as I do, Falklands or Malvinas, because I got that. And these are words that would appear in the title or maybe the description of the article. And you can grab more keywords here. So if you're looking at particular names of people, ooh, there's a sovereignty referendum. There's Falkland Islanders, all sorts of different things going on. And you can read that and write about it. but you want scholarly stuff. I was hoping to find a quiet place. The dogs are barking. So it's 828. And you can see if something is an academic journal, it'll say so on the side. That means that it is nonpartisan. It's not like from one political party or the other. It's just evidence-based. And they're doing scholarly research. So they're talking to people, they're doing interviews, they're looking at all sorts of different things. You can click over here on peer-reviewed, and you'll just get scholarly stuff. And there's 390. Your job is go through these, and every time you see one that looks interesting to you, save it or just open it up in a new tab. This is what I do when I'm doing new research, is I'll go through and I'm like, oh yeah, diplomacy, that one looks good. A View from the South, no, that doesn't talk about that. Young people's everyday engagement with geopolitics, I don't know. Ooh, nationalism, and that looks pretty good. Decolonization, ooh, cool, this one's in Spanish. Sometimes you can translate these. You'll see Spanish, Portuguese, Chinese, European languages. You get the idea. Merchant ship conversion. Well, that's interesting, but that's not going to tell me what's going on. Geopolitics. Okay, once you've figured out a few, and there are 390 to go into, if you want to, you can go by date also and say, you know what, let's look back from the past 5 years or so. Then we don't get like when it's happening, there might be a lot of opinions and bias. And so we can, there's 85 have been published in the last 5 years. Okay, you might have some digging to do. But once you've gone through and you have some tabs open with these articles, go through and just read the abstract. If the abstract has something you're interested in, it's a keeper. Let's see. Oil. Oh, da-na-na. So, yeah, I wondered why were they so hot on keeping it? I thought it was territory for military bases. But all of a sudden here, this article provides that maybe it was oil. And maybe it's access to oil, protecting a route, or oil exploration. Who knows? So once you figure out a point, write it down. And then you can download the article for yourself. And over here on the side, there's a little citation generator too. So as you're keeping notes in Word or in Google Drive or wherever, you can save these little bits and pieces. Every article that you think is good, grab one little moment where you're like, oh, there's a claim that it's about oil. And at this one, oh, maybe maybe it's time to talk about it. I'm guessing that was what's going on. Article calls for consideration of underground elements. Ooh, okay. So maybe it's not about national politics, but maybe it's some underlying thing going on. Every time that you write down some little topic, you have maybe like a half a page or a whole page, depending on that. And then you can start to sew all of this together in a narrative where you're explaining it to somebody based on the things that you're interested in that you find. And like one topic, another topic, another topic, another topic, and then pretty soon you have a paper where you're walking somebody through all of the ways that you understand it. Does that make sense? Let me know how it goes. And I'm here to help. I'm not going anywhere this summer, so see you later.